Something I've noticed with Homo sapien civilization is that, for instance, recently there was an attack on their capital, led by the king of that same nation to attack other branches of that government. And most of the mortals in that region call it an insurrection. Not an attack, not a riot, not anything that makes sense. No, an insurrection. And you notice similar behavior with other acts of evil. They're called extremists. They're called extremists. They're called extremists. Not immoral, not wrong, extreme. Why is that? Why? Because in Homo sapien civilization, they are authoritarian by nature, and amorality and brutality toward the weak is very common. And in a civilization that is authoritarian and amoral in that way, if there are those who are arrested as criminals, what kind of behavior gets you arrested then? How is that distinction between legal and illegal violence and exploitation and mistreatment made? How is that distinction of violence, exploitation, and how is that distinction between legal and illegal violence, exploitation, and abuse made? Whether or not you are taking it too far, whether or not you are going beyond the norm of abuse and violence. Sure, they all want to abuse the weak and people who look different, but not like that. Not that far. We pay mercenaries and facilities to do the dirty work for us through the taxes. We don't get our hands dirty. We don't do that much destruction. Taking the abuse of the weak too far. You've taken it too far. You've taken it too far. You've taken the abuse of the weak too far. This is mortal civilization. This is how mortals operate. Mortal authority is very much a first come, first serve, or at least early bird gets the worm sort of situation. Mortal authority is very much a first come, first serve, or early bird. Mortal authority is very much a first come, first serve, or at the very least, early bird situation. Mortal authority is very much a first come, first serve, or at the very least, an early bird special situation. The first to take control and bully and exploit others and there be no ill effects from it, no problem. Everyone protects you, refuses to agree that you did anything wrong. Everyone protects you, refuses to agree that you did anything wrong. But those who follow in your footsteps and attempt to seize power for themselves, they get sniped by the earlier. But those who attempt to rise up, those who attempt to follow in their footsteps, to do as they did, they get sniped from above, from those who have already perched themselves and dug in into their snipers, who have. But those who attempt to follow in their footsteps, who attempt to do as they did to claim power, who attempt to do as they did in their claim to power, for those who attempt to do as they did to claim power, they are sniped from above by those who have perched themselves into their sniper's nest. They are sniped from above by those who have perched themselves. They are sniped from above by those who have perched themselves in their sniper's nest, who were there long before the new evildoers were born, in a perfect position to spawn kill all who follow. And they are all called terrorists and tyrants, which they are. But those who are condemning them are guilty of the same crimes, are guilty of the same misdoings, yet they are unpunished. Their crimes go unrecognized. Yet their wrong, yet their malicious behavior goes unpunished. The things they do unrecognized as evil. Misunderstandings. Misunderstandings, they say. We'll make progress with abusing those who are weaker than us. Stop when we feel like it. My. I've long awaited the time that Zeus would give the order to put this world to an end. I grow weary of its inequity and barbarism. Truly, I do.